Hi, everybody. This is Coach Eddie Toro here, and I'm going to start again these videos that I post on Instagram, kind of like these video episodes, and I'll try to provide as much content as I can today. As you can probably recognize him already, this is Joshua Liendo. He just on his break after the amazing Olympic trials and Olympic games that he had. And he's here to tell us a little bit about his experience. You know, it's always nice to talk about with young new athletes who just made it through, because they're just in that moment where they're starting to realize. I'm sure you, Josh, you're starting to realize, you know, that you're on top. You're at the top game, and a lot of those feelings and thoughts are brand new. And it's always nice. It's exciting and it's insightful to hear from you guys at this point. And so how you doing, Josh? How you feeling after this summer?
Great. You know, it was an amazing experience. Definitely feeling good after that. Yeah, it was just crazy just to be there, you know, and just at the Olympics and see how everything works. It was really cool.
How did the difference between trials and the Olympics? Both of them had no fans on the stands, but you guys had, like, the athletes were able to watch the races, right?
Yeah.
So there's a fair amount of people there, right?
Yeah, there's a decent amount of people up there cheering. So yeah, it was definitely a little different. But in terms of like the rules and stuff, it was pretty much the same.
Really?
Yeah, with the masking and stuff, the only thing that was different was, I guess, the media. There's just a huge media section that you had to go through. Like, we had a little bit of that trials, but this one was a lot bigger.
Yeah. It's on the deck, right?
Yeah, so basically you get out from your race and then you go right to like CBC, and then they chat to you after you're done.
And in terms of the feeling of competition, how ready do you have to be in trials versus how ready do you feel you need to be at the Olympics? So how did that feel?
Well, yeah, you have to be so ready, right? It's like at this level, you can't really make mistakes. Like, everyone's trying to have their best race possible, and there's no room for mistakes, really. So yeah, that's something that I definitely saw. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing and making as least mistakes as possible.
I know that with Ben, you know, I'm lucky to go watch you guys once in a while, and you guys have a very strict routine.
Yeah.
Right. And how much do you think that helped you, like, keep some control between trials and the Olympics, right? Like, because at least your routine you can control and you can keep it the same. How much does that help, Josh, to you?
Yeah, it definitely helped a lot. Like, they were super prepared, like the staff, because we only got to Tokyo, maybe like 5 days before the meet, 5-6 days. So about a week. And they made sure that we were like acclimatized, right? Like, they gave us these glasses that would like make you see less like blue light or whatever. So you go to sleep easier and make you acclimatize faster. And they just made sure that we were ready to go on that day. Yeah.
So you guys got blue light glasses?
Yeah. So you had these like red lens ones. They're supposed to make you sleepy. And then when you were tired, we had these yellow lens ones that like made you stay awake. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
When I've only been to one international event in Gwangju at Worlds, and I remember the warm up and warm down pool there and how crowded it was. Was the Olympics similar? I mean, I know we're in COVID now, but was that an issue at any point?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty crowded. Yeah, nothing crazy. I know a few times me and Yuri were trying to do like sprints, and there was a lot of people there in the lanes. Like, once we got into the meet, it wasn't really no issue with the crowded pools.
Did it surprise you that, and this is more, I guess, really, it's still an international stage, right? Like in Gwangju, did it surprise you how crowded it was? Like, you think that when you go, you know, when you were at regionals or provincials or junior nationals, that's always something that we look at and we go, oh my God, we wish we had more space to warm up.
Yeah.
And then you go to Worlds expecting something, and it's like, it's the same mess.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a bigger meet. There'll be like less people, like how you have maybe like less people at trials and you do at provincials. There was a lot of people there. But
yeah, no, I know but I'm, again, because of COVID, I'm sure that was a lot less bad at the Olympic Games.
There weren't that many people.
And I mean, and I guess that's another, like, is there anything that felt different between Gwangju Worlds and the Olympic Games in the sense of feeling, in the sense of representing Canada? I guess what I'm trying to ask is every kid always wondered, how am I going to feel when I'm at the Olympic Games? Is there anything you want to say about that, Josh?
I was definitely really excited. It's just great to be, especially after a year of just racing pretty much like myself. Like, we only had time trials, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the time trial was literally just me in the water by myself doing 100 fly. So it was good to, you know, race guys like Caleb Dressel, people who are really fast, and basically see what they do at the highest level. There actually wasn't like too many nerves. I would say I was pretty nervous before our relay final 4x1.
That was amazing relay. He was so close, but that was amazing. And we'll get a little bit more into that, I guess. But you know what? I gotta say, that's something I always admire about you. You just don't get that nervous. Your excitement for racing kind of always overpowers your nerves.
Yeah, that's something I would say I'm lucky that I use the excitement, right? I feel like everyone's always a little bit nervous, but sometimes you're just so focused or so excited that you don't really feel it, right?
I think that's a good advice for anybody, is that try to concentrate and fixate more on your excitement as opposed to your nerves, because I think it's a lot easier. And like you said, I mean, this is one of your strengths. I always thought you were like an amazing racer and competitor because you just got excited. You just wanted to race, right?
Yeah.
But that's something that I tried to tell swimmers, and it is hard. It's harder for some people to do that because nerves are powerful, and you can get nervous. But it is awesome to hear that you were able to get excited and you went to the Olympics and you enjoyed it. Enjoy your experience, right? Because I'll tell you something. Watching from here, we really felt the shift in the men's team. Like I hope you guys did too.
Yeah, like we know there's obviously a bunch of guys coming up. Like even after that, like we came fourth in the relay, and some guys like Marcus and Yuri were like, oh, this is probably my last Olympics. And then I told Yuri, I'm like,
no,
you gotta go again, man.
You got 3 years.
Yeah, wrote it this time. So yeah, like after that, it just helped them like refocus, right? They realized we're top 4 in the world. We almost had a medal. So I'm like, dude, you got to stay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna get any slower. We're gonna have a better relay. So
that's great. Oh, that's great. And that's what we needed, man. I think that's what you bring to the team. Again, there's your role right there. You bring excitement again, right? It's like you like to focus more on that exciting part of, oh my God, we're fourth. We're almost there. Don't give up, right? Like that's the right tone to fit in there. I mean, we could see through the TV that you guys were close. Like you had a good bond. And I'm sure Brent Hayden coming back had a big role in that, eh?
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely super prepared.
Yeah.
I'd say that. Very prepared, knows what he has to do, like has his steps and knows where he needs to eat and everything like that. So yeah, he leaves everything that's in his control. He makes sure it's done well.
And what I noticed, like he even was so generous and helped me out. And we had that conversation over Instagram. What I got from that there was that just Brent is so willing to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, like you can tell that he's trying to deliver a message and he's looking at you guys and he seems like he's trying to be present and trying to lead that team pretty well, eh?
Yeah, 100%. I've definitely learned a lot from him, especially like right away, just like what to do, like in the ready room, the timing of how things go. So I feel like it was good that I had that relay first, because then I was basically with the team the whole time, and then they've been there before, so they know how it works. And I just kind of went through it. And then by the time I was at my individual races, I already knew what to do.
Well, I'm so glad that you did that and the guys are able to see that, because I feel like this was like, it's been a long time since a men's team was so strong. Like pretty much the last time was when before Brent Hayden retired and he won the medal and Ryan Cochrane was there. But I feel like if you had a little more background in this stage, like not just you, but the whole team, I think you guys would have won a medal.
Yeah, for sure. Like we were even right there. Like there was still stuff to clean up that would have gotten us that
sure.
Medal. Kyle Chalmers put it 46.4. So
God, that was fast, dude. That was
one of the fastest splits in history. But it took one of the fastest to knock us out. So doing things right.
Well, I'm glad you see it that way, because that was one of the first things I thought when you guys came forth. I'm like, I hope they realize how good that was.
Yeah, at the time, it was obviously we were disappointed, right? We were like, damn, because like we saw it, right? I'm like I'm watching it and I'm looking at Yuri and I'm like, he's right there. And I'm seeing like Chalmers, because we were pretty close to silver too.
That's right. But that's amazing. I mean, like, again, coming from virtually nowhere.
Yeah.
And really battling it out with, I think it was Australia and Russia.
I think it was Australia and Italy. Russia.
Oh, Italy. You're right. Yes, it was Italy.
By a good amount.
Yeah. So those are, I mean, Australia is a strong, and Italy, that they've done an amazing Olympic Games.
Yeah.
That's always what was in my head. It was like, I just hope they realize how good that was. And they built momentum and they keep it moving forward, because there are some young up and coming boys that are ready to shine. I think not only you guys, right? That's awesome, man. What was your favorite race to race there? Like, what was the race that you were the most excited, most relaxed? You were like, I got this.
Probably the 100 fly is just, I mean, I've swam that event a bunch. Like it's my best event.
Yeah.
And I was just excited. I was ready, to go up and race. It was great seeing like what those other guys do, right? The best in the world. So yeah, I was ready to measure up and see what I have to do to be up there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're just not intimidated, eh?
No.
I'm just gonna learn and I'm gonna beat you next time, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, Josh. Good work, buddy. What was the hardest race? Like the one that you felt the most, I wouldn't say scared because you don't get that scared, but most nervous.
I don't know. I was maybe, yeah, I would say it's definitely that 4x1.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that already. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you guys were really trying to get that medal, eh?
Yeah.
Was that in your head? Like, did you guys know you could be that close?
Well, we knew we had a good team. Like we made it in after being like the relay wasn't even qualified before. We literally had to do a time trial.
Yeah.
Make sure the relay could get to the Olympics.
That's
like,
right.
We weren't going to be swimming a relay. So yeah, we noticed like some people were like dropping off. Like Great Britain was out because we knocked them out in the prelims, and it was opening up. And basically, what Ben told us before, he's like, it's wide open, right? It's like that's the crazy thing about the Olympics is that. Especially this one had a lot of upsets.
That's right. That's what I loved about these Olympics.
Yeah.
I kept telling my brother and everybody in IAC, these are the funnest Olympics because between COVID's lockdown and pushing it another year, it really leveled the playing field for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So like young swimmers who were not ready yet a year ago, now they were all ready, right? So the competition was amazing. Like it may not have been the fastest Olympics ever, but the competition was so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
So much fun to watch. It really was wide open. That's awesome.
And even like Ben was telling me like after the meet and we were done, like obviously I wanted to have some better swims in there. And what he told me was like everyone on the pool side here, like they have talent, right? They have ability, but it's like who can step up in those big moments and who just has that extra push,
It's a mental game, right? Like it's like I'm sure you've been hearing that for a very long time from coaches, right? But ultimately you get to a stage where everyone is equally strong, everyone is equally fit, they have very similar skills, and it's a mental game, right? Like it's whoever's more prepared, whoever can get more excited, whoever can get less nervous, they're the ones who make it, right? So that's an important lesson to learn and to extrapolate from that, and make sure that people don't undermine that, right? I think that sometimes young swimmers can get caught with swimming, training, and they don't learn to prepare their head for the game, right? Like so you really felt that, eh? You felt that? Yeah. Who are the athletes you follow the most? Like just watching a warm up, like you were more caught up.
Canada or just in general?
Just in general, like you were looking at, hey, Caleb Dressel's over, what is he doing? Or
oh yeah, Dressel is definitely like super focused, especially in the ready room, just like locked in, doesn't hear anything, doesn't see anyone, just stares at the wall, just completely locked in, ready to go. So that's something I definitely noticed.
Is there anyone else you watched, like anyone else you follow that you liked?
I did watch Chalmers warming up, and he just seems like super chill. Doesn't even look like he's like about to race. Like he had like a rugby ball or whatever, and he's like a little different from Dressel. He's just more distracted from the race, I guess, and not thinking about it too much.
Yeah. I remember I really like following Adam Pitty. Did you see Adam Pitty at all?
Oh, yeah, I did see Adam Pitty.
He's got a monster preparation,
Yeah, like they had the stationary bike there, and he was like going crazy on the stationary bike, and then he had like bands, and he was doing kind of like a breaststroke pull with the bands like super fast. So he's gone intense. Yeah.
That guy, when I was in Gwangju, he was the most impressive swimmer I saw there.
Yeah. He had a really good meet there too.
Between his pre-pool activation and then just the way he looks, like he's massive, right? Like
he's huge.
It looks like a gorilla.
Yeah, like he's not that tall, but then like you see him in person, it's like, this guy's big.
He's thick. Right? Yeah, I enjoyed watching him when I was in Gwangju. But Caleb seems to be pretty like chill too, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Did you guys, again, I think that the bond between the guys there, like you could see on TV. Did you guys try to do that? Like, I think you guys were together for 15 days more?
Yeah.
Like almost a month. Something like that. Yeah. Did you guys get along behind the scenes? Was it a good group of guys?
Yeah, it was good. Like, obviously I knew Yuri before, I knew Marcus before. Like Brent was a little new. I only met Brent when we did the time trials. That was the first time I met him. But yeah, so we just we try to talk more and just try to, just get to know each other. And yeah, that was pretty good. And then like we had that relay, and that relay was really good. So
how important do you think is to have a good, strong bond with your teammates?
It's really good. Like you saw with when I was back on Nyack with the boys.
Yeah.
You have a good bond, and I feel like it just helps you perform better. Like you can do like crazy stuff when you have just like a good bond, because it's weird. Like a relay is so different than a individual swim. You're not just swimming like, oh, this is myself. I need to do this, and you can get like energy off other people. Like when I saw Brent go out 22.8, I was like, damn, like yeah. So
yeah. Well, it's funny how you have these dreams and goals for yourself, and swimming, it's always said to be like a kind of like just you in your lane. It's a very individual sport, yet the most excitement and best swims usually come in a relay.
Yeah.
Right. It's an interesting observation because swimmers, yes, they kind of rely on themselves to do stuff, but they need to understand the importance of having a good surrounding.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's always more energy and things go a lot better when you are trying to do something for others too, right? Like you're not just trying to do it for yourself, but you're connecting with your team and you care about them. And then you're like, okay, I don't want to let these people down.
Yeah.
It definitely provides a different perspective. And it gives you so much more energy, eh?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's something I've always observed too. And I think that's something that you have to reflect yourself too, right? Like it's not just, oh, what can my teammates do for me? It's also what can I do for my teammates, right? Like who can I be? Like I don't want to be, there's always one person who may be a little bit, different. And you want to try to find that common ground that brings everyone together, which is you guys want to win, right? You want to be the best. Is there anything that you think that took you back, like that a skill or a situation? I was in this situation and I'm very thankful I got to work on these things when I was younger, like when I was 12, 13, 14, right? Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Is there any connection there, Josh, that you can say, man, I'm glad I developed these skills early so that now they're really helping me out?
I'd definitely say like my start and my breakout. Obviously, when you're next to Caleb Dressler, your starting breakout doesn't look that good. But yeah, definitely working on those things. Like my start, like my underwaters and my breakout were pretty good at that meet. But yeah, just working on things like off the walls, having all the fundamental stuff that you work on when you're young and not having to think about those so much and like focusing on your race definitely helps.
Is there anything you said to yourself, I wish I had this down earlier? Is there anything?
I would definitely say I noticed at the meet, like my consistency with my underwaters kind of went down.
Okay.
Because I had a lot of races that meet. I think it's my second international meet and kind of like a big meet. And I had like so many races, especially compared to Gwangju. I had way more races at this one. Yeah. So I noticed like in the relay, my takeover, my underwaters, my breakout was really good. And they kind of deteriorated a little bit throughout the meet. So just like working on that consistency in training and stuff, focusing on like every single wall, working on my underwaters.
So almost like staying focused and concentrated and keep a consistent effort and always doing it right, always doing it well, so that that muscle memory never goes away. And that's interesting you say that, because you're a pretty good underwater kicker. And actually, I gotta say this, I'm sure you got this from your coaches, but even watching at the Olympic level, you're one of the best, man.
Yeah, like even my relay, my underwaters were really good on that first day. Like it was definitely noticeable, but just like little things, like sometimes maybe in like a prelim, my underwaters just weren't as sharp as they usually are. So yeah, just having that focus and just like always being sharp, because at the Olympics, it's like you got to always be on. You could have like a good start, like good depth, but you got to make sure it's always on every time, because you have basically prelim, semifinals.
And that's hard to do when you're young, because there's a lot in your head. But I think young kids can understand why coaches try to focus on those, like get that done well first before you start thinking bigger. Right? Because
definitely, like it's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. Not even hard as in like physically, like everyone can do it. It's just like that push, right, to always be doing it. And sometimes it's even like focus. Like sometimes you just like even in practice, you lose focus and you don't do enough kicks off this wall. So it's really got to be really focused and like really ready.
No. So you mentioned a lot of races. How tired were you by the end?
I was pretty tired, but I one thing I feel like I really nailed this meet is my recovery.
Very like nice. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. You know me, I'd always like go in the warm down pool, start talking before I even get to warm down. But this, like, obviously we had a little while during like walking through media. There was a big media portion, but made sure I had my water. Sometimes we'd have like a core power shake or whatever, and have like a meal there. Make sure I get warmed down right away. Have like an ice bath. We had ice baths there.
So you would say that focusing on your recovery was absolutely key to get you through everything.
100% it's key. Especially someone like me who had a lot of events. Like by the last day, it's not even the best swimmer that's winning. It's like whoever recovered the best.
Yeah.
Especially like, point. The meet was 9 days. It's whoever like made sure they took care of their recovery and, who's still on, who's still basically like mentally still in the meet and ready to go. So you have to make sure like your sleep is good. You're still eating well throughout the meet and eating the right things and making sure you're recovering so that you're ready to go again the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing that, again, there's another topic that I think it's just hard to get when you're younger. Right?
Yeah, it's just like, and it's actually so important. Like I never realized how important it is, because by the end of the meet, like I was tired, but I wasn't like dead tired. I felt good. Yeah. And that's just because of and it's like little things, just like the amount of time, like you have to go and get something to eat right away or get what you need in your system right away. I forgot like what my nutritionist was telling me, but you need a certain amount of grams of protein and carbs right after your race within like 30 minutes. Yeah, that's like essential to recovery, like having that stuff right away. And it actually makes a big difference.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that when you really feel that difference is in a long-term setting, right? Like, you just doing it once, you may not feel the difference right away, but you do it multiple times, multiple events. You just had trials only like 2-3 weeks before. That's when you really feel the impact of those things. And I think that again, that's why it's sometimes harder to grasp for young swimmers, because if you don't feel the impact right away, it's hard to buy into something, right? So but it's good to hear from you that was important to you. And I mean, and you're 18, right? So you're still an age grouper, man. So a lot of swimmers can relate to this stuff. So you guys didn't do the final walk, right? The closing ceremony.
No, so we didn't do the opening either. Like we watched from home. Because of like COVID, I don't even think they sent like the full, maybe the US did, but I don't think they sent the full team out there. Like, so even like some other guys from other sports who could have gone, didn't even go, just because I think the protocols and stuff. And once you were done your event, I think you had like 48 hours and then you had to leave the village, which kind of sucked.
Okay.
So you had to leave right away.
How was that village? It was good?
Yeah, it was good. It was cool. They had like, obviously it was really hot in Japan, but they had a lot of good stuff. The food there was good in the dining hall. That was cool. And they had a lot of like cool places to go around. That like we were right on the water. Like there's just the water and the bridge right next to the village. So that was cool.
Who did you room with?
I was rooming with Finley.
Oh, okay. Finley did a good job too. Good job. He's
pretty good. Obviously he wanted to get into the semi.
Or the semi, right.
Yeah. Right. He could have even been in the final. It's just like, it's crazy because we were talking and it was like my 100 fly. I think it was, I don't know how many people went 51.5, but I was like the first one to go 51.5. And there's maybe like 10, 12 other people that went 51.5. After me, but Finley was just on the outside of that.
Can I ask you, how much did the morning versus night mess you up with your head or your preparation at all?
I was actually surprised at how well I handled it, because I was a lot better. I'm a better night swimmer usually, but like I was ready to go right away in the morning too, which I was pretty surprised with. I didn't have even like my 100 free, it was at night. I went a little slower at night and then I went faster in the morning. So I've definitely gotten a lot better at being faster just whenever I need to.
Yeah. Okay. Any girls that you saw there that were like impactful to you that you kind of admired? Or I know you guys admire a lot Summer McIntosh because she's young and she's been 100%. Doing a great job. Anybody else in either Canadian or outside that you kind of admire? You said, wow, that was special to see.
Definitely, probably Penny.
Oh yeah.
Just the way Penny can like close a race is insane.
I would agree.
Yeah, no, I would say she gets nervous, but she knows how to handle it and just knows how to race. Like whenever the pressure is super high, that's when she does really well. Not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah, that's inspirational for sure.
Yeah, the more pressure on her, the better she does.
Oh, and my observation with Penny was I liked these Olympics better for Penny.
Yeah.
And it's not, obviously she won more medals in Tokyo, or better medals. I think she won a gold.
Yeah.
Better medals. I think she won the same amount. I saw a more fulfilled Penny, in my opinion. Like she was happy. She was proud. She seemed proud and satisfied with the work she's done. I mean, that was my observation from here. And I think she's pretty happy with what she accomplished. I mean, she's the most decorated Canadian ever. So I'm glad that's good, man. Like I said one more time, the bond in the Canadian team was very apparent. Like we could see it, we can feel it. And I think that really brought the swimming community together. together. Everyone was really cheering for you guys. Obviously, I mean, we always do, but there was a special taste in this one, and you guys did a great job. So good job, Josh.
Yeah. Thank you.
So do you want to share your plans about the next Olympics? Not where you're going to be and all that stuff, just like go how fast you hope to go. What event do you think you're focusing on? Anything else, like anything like that?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Like I was just trying to take my break, but like even like right after I was like, oh, I can fix this, I can do this. So that's why I felt the Olympics were so great for me, because they had the videos and stuff, and I got to see where I am with the best in the world. So yeah, I'll just go back, obviously having more races and stuff. Like we didn't really have many races because of COVID, but I'm looking forward to having more opportunities to race, because I feel like that was the biggest thing. I just didn't have enough practice racing because it's so different than actual like training. So yeah, for the next Olympics, I'm setting my goals high.
I know you like to set them high, man.
Yeah. And like that's one thing, like goal setting, like you remember, I'd always set a goal and the kids would be like, oh, what the heck? Or they'd like laugh or whatever. So if someone's not laughing at your goal, then you didn't set it high enough, you know?
That's a good advice. That's well said, Josh.
Yeah. Because you remember you'd have us write those little like we write them down, right? And you'd ask us to stand up and say it, and then I would like do the goal or like do even better, and then it just came something that was expected of me, right? So
well, here's the thing. You've always set a goal, and I think you've hit them every time. So do you dare to set a goal right now and say what you want to go?
Set a goal? Ooh, okay. Definitely 47 low and that 100 free. Nice. I don't know, that 100 fly is getting really fast. I'm thinking by 2024, that's 3 years, 49, looking at 49. I'm thinking the boys are going to go 49 low. Maybe Justin could go 48 high.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I think I definitely think you can go 49. Definitely. Yeah. You can ask your dad too. I used to call all your times. Ask your dad.
Yeah.
I used to tell him that he's gonna go this time. I used to tell him at the banquet of that season, Josh is gonna go this time by the end of the season, and you did it. Anyway, so yeah, that's great, man. I think you can do that. So all the best to you. Is there any thought you may have, Josh, that you want to give out? You've given some great advice. Is there anything you want to say? Or
yeah, I'll go back to goal setting. I just remember, like, obviously you want to set your goals super high, but just make sure you know what you have to do to get to that goal. It's not just you can set a crazy goal, but it's like even like you got to know what your splits are, and you got to train according to those splits that you want to do. It's not just like you set a super high goal that you got to put the work in after.
Amazing advice. I mean, so essentially is
just integrate.
If you're gonna set a goal, be ready to pay the price.
Yeah.
Right. Like
it's tough, but yeah, if you dare, then you gotta go for it. There's no turning back.
You gotta walk the talk, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing advice, because I think that's the second piece of goal setting that a lot of people forget.
Yeah.
It's like, it's nice to dream and have those goals, but really, really sit down and think about what's going to take to get there.
Yeah. It sucks because it takes like long, right? Sometimes you set a goal and you're like trying to hit the times or the pacing you do in practice, and you're like, crap, like I'm far off right now, right? But you just keep at it, and then eventually you'll slowly get there. But then when you start seeing the results, you'll be like, okay, then it's a good thing I set this goal and I kept trying to move towards it every day.
Wow. Great advice, man. I hope everybody really listens to this and takes your advice, Josh, because I could not have said it any better. Set a goal that everyone laughs at.
Yeah. If they're not laughing, then you didn't. Your goal. You
didn't set a high enough. Yeah, that's your quote now.
Yeah.
Anyways, Josh, thank you so much for talking with us. And
nice talking to you.
Yeah, we hope to see you more often. We're always cheering for you, and we're very proud, buddy. Good job.